Hey, how you doing? Tim here. I've got a new cartoon I want to work on a little bit and let you see what I'm doing. This cartoon is for Current Publishing, which Current Publishing is the first company that I started doing editorial cartoons for back in 2006. They started off as just one paper, Current in Carmel, which is where I live, Carmel, Indiana, and now they've grown to six different newspapers in six different suburbs of Indianapolis. They're in Carmel, Westfield, Zionsville, Fishers, Noblesville, and Geist. So I do one cartoon for them, and that one cartoon appears in all six publications. Probably the most difficult thing about doing a cartoon for the Current Publishing is that my deadline is on Thursday mornings to get the cartoon done and sent to them, and then the cartoon won't actually appear until the following Tuesday. So whatever I pick has to have kind of a shelf life. So I try to come up with a topic that I'm betting that it's going to still be relevant 5 or 6 days from now. So anyway, I've already got this cartoon here in the scanner, and let me go ahead and get it going here, and I'll show you what it is. Get it the way I want here real quick. And okay, let me see, it's a TIFF 300 dpi. Okay, I'll go ahead and scan it here and open it up here in Photoshop. Okay, here's the cartoon. Actually, let me get myself out of the way a little bit. There, that's better. Move this over so you can see better. And let me go ahead and get the image rotated clockwise. And go ahead and darken it up a little bit. Go to Levels. Push the contrast a little bit here. And once again. Okay. You can see it here. This is the cartoon. It's a baseball jersey, and it's called Bad News Barristers. I've done this cartoon kind of thinking about Trump's legal team right now. All the trouble they're having. Giuliani just kind of joined the team and has gone around on the different talk shows and said some stuff that he shouldn't have said, stuff that he's kind of had to walk back, or the administration's had to walk back here and there. So they're kind of struggling right now, and so I started thinking of this idea earlier today, actually, when I was waking up, about what I wanted to do, and I wanted to do something to mock Trump's legal team and all the trouble they're having. And I kind of kept my thinking around the neighborhood of the word team, trying to think of some team or sports imagery that I could tie together with this. And all of a sudden it just clicked, the Bad News Barristers. And I just did watch the movie Bad News Bears 3 or 4 nights ago, actually. It was on, and I just popped it on and watched it. And somehow it just kind of popped back into my head this morning, and I thought, here's a pretty good idea. Let me see if I can put this together. So anyway, here's the cartoon. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up just a little bit with my eraser. Don't want that gray. There's a little bit of an outline going around the outside of the cartoon here. Okay. Just go around all the negative space here and get rid of any little pixels, any little marks that I don't want. Then I will enlarge it a little bit and see if I can find some others here. Before I start coloring and doing anything else, I want to go ahead and see if I can't clean up some of these little pixels. You can see a few of them here, I think. There's always a few. Since I work in pencil, there's always a little smudge here and there that I need to kind of go back in and fix. Here's a few right there. And they just kind of show up. The flatbed that I'm scanning on might have a little piece of dust or something like that on it. So you always try to go back in and clean it up before you go to coloring too much. So that's what I've done here. I don't see too much of anything else that I'm really not wanting at this point anyway. There we go. Okay. What I will do, let me get myself out of the way here. I'm going to go to the background layer here, which is the line art, and I'm going to select the mode as multiply. Hit OK. That kind of gives me a transparent film or layer, if you will. Go ahead and click another layer. I'll just go ahead and leave that as label or layer 1. And I'm going to go ahead and start coloring it a little bit. So I need to actually go up here and change the mode from grayscale to CMYK so I can get some color going and answer a couple of questions. And here we are. Okay, the overall jersey color, I want to go ahead and keep that fairly light. So I'm going to try to keep it just kind of a gray, kind of a neutral gray color here. Just as a starting point. I might change this and go back into it. Right now it's kind of a real light blue-gray. I'm not sure. I might want to go back in and change this eventually to more of a warmer gray, something like just a little bit real light yellow type gray color. So, but that's okay for now. Tell you what, I am going to switch this up. Let me go ahead and see what I can do here. Okay, now I've got the yellow. Cancel. Okay, maybe more like this. Yeah, I think that's probably what I want to do as far as the base color. Go ahead and give it a little bit of a shadow area here and there. Since this is a baseball jersey, there's going to be some little folds and stuff like that. I'll just work in a few little base shadows here, show you just a few things I'm doing, and then I'll probably stop the video at some point and go back in and spend a little more time refining a few things. You don't need to necessarily, probably not interested in every little thing I do here, but I just kind of want to show you the basic steps that I take to get this cartoon done. Let me see here. What I'm doing here, this is kind of the flap where the jersey buttons. It's going to cast probably just a little bit of a shadow, and this will help to make it pop a little bit, make it look a little bit more three-dimensional. Some of this piping here will cast a little bit of a shadow. There we go. Okay. Go a little bit larger with the brush here, and just kind of give a base shadow to this side of the jersey. Inside this collar here is going to be kind of a shadow area, so I'm going to work that out a little bit. A couple more little folds down in this area and so forth. So there we go. That's a start anyway. What I will do now is I will go ahead and create another layer. And if you've seen the movie, the jersey, the lettering on the jersey is kind of a yellowish color. So somewhere in this area I will start yeah, it might be a little bit too light. Okay, there we go. Something like this. Okay, I'm on the second layer here. I will just go ahead and block in some of the lettering. And once I get this all done the way I want, I will go back in and erase everything that I don't want to be there. but for now I'm just kind of over painting letters and the jersey and things like that, just to kind of get the base idea of what I want as far as the colors go. Hopefully this is making sense to everybody. And the B. Okay. When I do something like this, where I'm actually creating an image that comes from something like a movie or whatever, I will actually go and get a Google image on the actual object. So I did go and looked up the Bad News Bears uniforms and made sure I was doing it right as far as the colors and what the uniform looked like. I mean, I have taken a little bit of liberty. There's a jersey number and so forth that I'm not going to include. The number wouldn't do anything here. I just want to get the bad news and the barrister part working right. I did kind of think about spelling barrister with the B-E-A-R, but then it's like, nah, that's a little more confusing than I want to be. Everybody's going to get the barrister from bears and stuff. So that's kind of a judgment call there. So this is what it's going to look like to some degree when it's done. Along some of these areas here, there's piping, the little stripes and so forth. When I do that, I will probably, even though it's the same yellow, I will probably make it a little bit lighter just so it doesn't fight for attention with the lettering. So if you can see this at all, it's a little bit lighter version of the yellow. And it's just got a little bit of a value separation from the yellow in the word barrister or bad news. So again, this will help to separate the bad news bears, I think, or the bad news barristers from the piping. I just don't want two yellows fighting for attention. The bad news barristers. That's what I want people to see. That's the message I'm trying to get across. So, okay. Okay, there we go. That's not too bad. The last thing this is going to have, and I've worked out the type already, there's going to be just a little tagline at the bottom here, and I think I've already got it worked out with my font. Make sure the file is here. Okay. The file here is just called Legal Team, and this little tagline is just going to go here at the very bottom. It's just going to say Trump's Legal Team. And the team is the Bad News Barristers. So this is the cartoon. The way it's going to look when it's done, hopefully, is a little bit better. I'll clean this up and put some more value, some darks and lights going in here to make the image pop a little bit more. But so far, so good. I'm fairly happy with this, and I should have it posted later today and have it sent off to the editor later today as well to make them happy. So meet my deadline. And anyway, I hope this was informative for you and that you got something out of it. If you have any questions, send me a note, and I'd be happy to answer anything you want to ask me. So thank you so much.